So, you want the best Sony TV you can find right now in 2022. Well, today I've got that answer. I've spent the entire year finding out what the best TVs are, and today I'll be giving that to you guys. So if you like that kind of thing, smack like on this video, subscribe and join the journey. Let's get started. Now, disclaimer, Sony didn't pay me to say any of this, and this isn't going to be an ad or commercial. This is just genuinely going to be what I found as a professional reviewer that has been going through, calibrating all this good stuff, and finding out what these TVs are and are not capable of. So if something doesn't make the cut, this is just how it happened in the results. So don't shoot the messenger. Now that being said, let's dive right into the first pick. The Sony X80K. This is going to be for everybody who wants an LED this year. You can go as high up as 75 inches, I believe even 85. I mean, you've got options, right? But the thing is, the price is pretty low. Now, why would I pick something like this over, let's say, the Sony X95K or the X90K? Well, the answer is very simple. Sony has problems at those price ranges that should not really exist, and motion being the number one. Things just look smeary, they don't look as good. Now, if you're coming from a TV that's lesser than that Sony that you'd be upgrading to, you probably never would notice. But if you know what Sony quality is supposed to be because you've had one before, this is going to be very disappointing. And honestly speaking, if there's a Sony that is better, just by that, in my view, and the X80K is it. You got Triluminous Pro, you've got the 4K HDR X1 processor. Now, it's an older processor from 2017. But again, you're doing just fine with getting the beauty out of that panel. And I think the thing that they really do great is they hone in on highlight detail. So when things should be bright, they're bright. When they should be dark, they're dark. It looks good. Now, it's not inky deep black like OLED, but it's very impressive, especially for the price point. If you want a big sprawling LED Sony TV and you don't want to spend a whole lot of moolah, you don't have to do it. But the Sony A80K is going to give you a lot for the money. I was very impressed with how sharp and how clear the image was. Now, motion isn't as bad as we've seen on some other models like the Sony A95K, but it's not perfect either. So if you're somebody who's looking for that, like, oh, I need the best, most flawless experience, I mean, this is going to be as close as you'll get out of a Sony TV this year, unfortunately. There's still room to be done there, but you have the XR processor. It pretty much gives you every bell and whistle as all the more expensive models. I mean, the optional Bravia camera, I mean, literally everything. There's like not really much of anything you're missing outside of obviously on the step-up model, you have quantum dots. And I think, again, if you're looking for a wide range of sizes as far as OLED goes, that's where the X80K, or rather A80K, pulls ahead of the A95K because you have tons of screen size options. And it's generally more affordable than the A95K. And so I think that's definitely going to be one of your next best options. Again, and its motion processing is better than on the A95K. Now, of course, we round out this list with Sony's best TV, which is their Quantum Dot OLED, their A95K. Now, the reason why this takes the #1 spot is the image quality is impeccable. Quantum dots and OLED coming together really truly gives a magnificent picture, the likes of which we just have not seen yet, right? But it's not fantastic because there are some issues on the processing side of things that Sony has yet to figure out. And motion, again, at the highest end being one of those. We have a weird little purgatory where, like, other reviewers will say things to Sony that tricks them. They'll say, we don't like motion processing, we don't like soap opera effect, and Sony doesn't even try at the highest end. They try at the lower ends, but at the highest end, because they know purists are going to review that feature poorly because they don't like it, it just kind of goes amiss. Now, the other thing that I would say about the Sony A95K, to just kind of keep a tab on, it's not exactly going to be as bright as something like the Samsung S95B. It is going to be a little bit dimmer, but Sony fans have believed that this is because it will prolong the lifespan. Now, we don't have any solid figures on life expectancy from either QD OLED, but I can safely say that either way, I mean, if you want a Sony, this is the best route to go. And I mean, hopefully that helps you out. If you have questions about any of these three TVs, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do what I can to help you and steer you in the right direction so that you're sitting pretty for the next 5 to 7 years or however long your TV lasts. That being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Which brand should we do next? Let me know in the comments down below. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.